Hey everybody, Pastor Josh here. This is a video for the covenant members of Redeeming Grace Church. I want to talk to you a little bit about our family meeting on October 25th that's going to be at South Canyon Baptist Church at 5 p.m. There's some changes that I'm making to the meeting and some special things that I want us to make a decision on that I thought would be best to let you know about. And I thought a video would be easier than trying to type all this up. Number one is that I would love for us to share a meal together, which is why I want to do it at 5 p.m. is so that we'll have the ability to eat together. And I think the best way to do that is maybe for us to go ahead as a church to go ahead and pay for and cater boxed lunches of some sort. I think that will be the best way for us to enjoy a meal together, be spread out like we have been, but also enjoy a meal together and not be touching all the same stuff like we would on a potluck. So I think we can afford to do that, and I really do miss us eating together. So 5 p.m. would love to do a meal together. And if there is one of you that would be willing to, or several of you willing to go ahead and set this up, I can give you the numbers and some of the dietary issues that we have. But if somebody wants to take and organize that, order it, make that happen, man, that would be a huge help to me. So please let me know if you would be willing to put some effort into making it happen. That would be awesome. One other big thing that we're going to be doing is Jacob and Lily Holden has made it through the membership process, and they have a baby due, I think, the 20th. And so I'm not sure if they'll be able to be there or not, but the plan is for them to be there either with a baby or waiting for a baby, and to share their testimonies and for us to vote them into church membership. So go ahead and be praying about that and thinking about that, and we look forward to being able to do that, Lord willing and baby willing. A couple other things that I think I really want you to be aware of is that for a while here we've been looking at maybe some other properties. We're happy with Worship at the Journey. We're happy with our setup right now, but we have kept our eyes open to see if there's something that fits our mission a little bit better that allows us to do more things. And so we've looked at a couple of properties that we thought could be kind of a full service. This is like our location for everything. What's hard about that is that's a lot of square footage to pay for when you really only need it all for about 3 or 4 hours on a Sunday morning. So that's a lot of maintenance, upkeep, and utilities and that kind of stuff for a space that you only use a real short fraction of the week. There's certainly midweek things you can do, but very rarely do you need that much space all at once. And so as I was thinking about this, I was like, well, maybe we need to just think about this a little bit differently. I love being at the Journey. I love our location there. And if it ever gets to the point where maybe the location, the Journey isn't the best fit for us, the Boys Club and also that senior center are very much willing to rent their space. So maybe we're better off in the long run of continuing to rent space with a good partner and stay right in the area, and then look for a space that's maybe more than just an office like I have right now, but more of like a ministry center that couldn't accommodate our whole church on a Sunday morning, but for any midweek stuff that we wanted to do could accommodate up to 30 or 40 people. And it just so happens that the office that Love Inc. used to be in, which is just across the parking lot up the hill a bit, across the street from the Journey Museum, is available, and it's really affordable. And so that place is available, and I just toured it today, and I'm super excited. I think the idea of a ministry center that allows us to have a during the week presence, more than just an office like I have at the garage, but actually has the ability to be able to do a youth ministry stuff. We could do classes, we could do members meetings, we could do ministry and outreach kind of stuff. We can do some different things. It couldn't accommodate all of us, but we only need that on Sunday mornings anyway. So I am going to pitch to you this coming family meeting for us. I'm going to pitch all the information that we have, and then I am going to actually see if we couldn't make a decision to go ahead and vacate the garage where my office is and move my office into the Love Inc. office, sign a lease with them, and then begin to prepare this as a ministry center that's right next to the Journey Museum and begin to just sort of establish roots in that community. The fact that it's the Love Inc. building means that it already has a positive Christian presence, and it's got a big conference room. It could accommodate a group or gathering up to probably 40, 50 people. And so we could do a lot of really cool things, classes, women's studies, outreach events, all right there. and the fact that we're just like, you can basically, if there wasn't a building in the way, see the Journey Museum from that office space. So I want you to be thinking about that now. I'm going to give you some information about that that Sunday night, and then I would like us to go ahead and make a decision. I would hate for us to miss out on it if we feel like the Lord's leading us that way. So super excited about that. Would love for you to be thinking about that. If you want to tour that space or want more information or some pictures, happy to send those to you. Just let me know. Lastly is we're going to have a discussion of our 2021 budget. I handed that out to you at the last meeting just to look at, just to think about. This family meeting, we will discuss it. We won't vote until our November family meeting, but I would like for us to just be discussing it. So look that over, and feel free to ask any questions on how we intend to spend our money. And one thing that I want you to be thinking about is that we are going to make an increase in our budget to spend not 10%, but 15, increasing our percentage of 15% of our money goes out. 10% going to the International Mission Board, the Southern Baptist Convention, the cooperative program, our denominational ministry cooperative program thing that goes off to missions and seminary education and planting churches. So that's it. But then we've got this other 5% that we need to decide how to divide up. And what we need to think about is we have people within our own church who are involved in ministry and need to raise support. We have organizations that we partner with, like Love Inc. We have other people like Jamin Eben and others who are missionaries that we know that are somewhat connected to our church, not members. And so what I want to do is that block, that other 5%, that block right there, I would like to form a team of some members within our congregation who will then determine the parameters of how we go about supporting. So dividing that up in terms of what do we want to save for our own missions advances, like if we want to take a short-term mission trip in 2021, how much of the funds should we keep for that? Also, if we've got people within our church that are doing ministry, what do we want to decide in terms of, do we want to fund them? Do we not? Under what circumstances? We have guys who are training for ministry, want to go and take classes. Do we support them in that? Do we support local ministries? Do we support international missionaries? So what does it look like? And I frankly feel a little uncomfortable just making those decisions myself. I do not want to be a church where it's just, hey, whoever Josh likes or whatever Josh thinks, that's how you get the money. I don't want us to have that kind of culture. I certainly will speak into it. I have convictions. I'll lead in some ways, but I do not want this particular portion of the budget to feel like just whatever Josh wants to do, and whoever Josh wants to support, that's what we'll support. So that's why I want to pitch that Sunday night for us to form a team of some key members within our congregation who would think well about this matter, and then make some determinations on how we'll go about spending that money and what the parameters are for what we do and don't support, and where our mission funds go. So I know that's a lot to think about, but those are some things I want you to be thinking about in anticipation of a meeting. And that's a little abnormal for us to have some of these more significant church altering kind of decisions, but wanted to go ahead and lay them out for you. So again, if there's somebody that wants to take over the dinner portion and help organize that, man, please, that would help me out a ton. Pray for the Holdens, and just pray that they would be able to be there that night, and that we'd be able to take them into membership. Also the ministry center idea, moving my office to this bigger space that would allow us to do more things. Be praying about that. Feel free to ask any questions. And then lastly, the 2021 budget discussion, where we hash that out, particularly how are we going to handle our missions funding, particularly as it relates to people within our church, ministries, that kind of stuff, who should be on the team to help determine the policies that we make in terms of how we fund things as a church. So I love you. Thank you for taking a minute to watch this video, and let me know if there's any questions or anything that you would like more information on. And man, I'm super excited for us to really dig into the ministry future that God has laid before us. What a great privilege it is to represent Him in this place at this time in His redemptive plan. And what a great opportunity we have in front of us to discern His will together. So God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon.